Welcome back to Business Studies class. So in last class we have started with a new chapter called staffing, right? There we have seen meaning of staffing as it is a process of getting the people to the organization, that is getting the people and allotting them the place in the organization. We have created an organization structure. Now we have to fill that organization structure with the people. Okay, that is what called staffing we have seen in last class. Even we have seen the meaning of McFarland and Cones, O'Donnell and Henrich. Okay, now we'll start with the process of staffing. As we know, staffing in the sense filling the organizational positions, right? So it is not so easy because it is the people, it is the employees who has to work in order to achieve the organizational goals. Among those workers itself, will be selecting some of the people as managers also, isn't it? We select people and we accommodate them in a particular position. Hence, the process of selection is not so easy. Okay. Apart from process of selection, when I say staffing, it includes too many things. Staffing in the sense filling right person in the right place at the right time, in simple thing, but it's not so easy. You can see here because of shortage of space in this form the chart is made. Generally it should be in the way of flow chart, one by one. That will be a good and clear picture about the staffing process. Once again, you try to understand as per in your notes. Okay, in your notes it is given in the way of flow chart, so you have to follow that. Because I cannot accommodate that in this place, I am just using this, right? Okay, see here, we have 8 steps or 8 things to do for a good staffing. In order to select the right people to an organization, and in order to accommodate in the right place, and in order to get a right work from them so that the organizational objectives are achieved. This is the entire concept. This is the main purpose of staffing, right? In order to fulfill that purpose, we have these 8 steps. So it starts with estimation of manpower, right? It starts with estimation of manpower, or it can be called as manpower planning, or it can also be called as HRP, that is human resource planning. These are the alternative names what you have to remember. Once again, estimation of manpower, which can also be called as manpower planning, or it can be even called as human resource planning, HRP. Okay. So initially we start with estimation of manpower. What it is will go later, but you just listen. Then second one is a recruitment. First estimate the manpower, then start a recruitment process. Then comes selection, that is out of recruited people you have to select employees. Once you have selected, you have to introduce and place them in the right place. That is what's your introduction, or it can be like orientation. Okay, introduction and orientation. In this chart it is written as introduction, but in your notes it will be like orientation, which gives the same meaning. So don't get confused. Introduction or it can be orientation. When it is done for the first time, we call it as orientation also. Okay, then comes once you have that orientation program is done and you have placed the person in right place, then comes the training and development. Development spelling is not completed there, you can make it out. Development, it is training and development. Once you give them training and development programs are arranged in your organization, then you go for appraisal. This is performance appraisal we say, or it can also be called merit rating. So these alternative terms you have to remember. Why? Because there will be a particular terminology for the particular concept. In our staffing concept, what we are dealing with the chapter called staffing, we have a particular terminology. When I say appraisal, it is a performance appraisal, means seeing, appraising them, what is their ability, checking out everything. The alternative name for that is merit rating. Alternative names you have to remember. Once that process is done, once that step is completed, then it moves for promotion and career planning. That can be added here. Promotions and career planning. Okay, what is actually promotion, demotion, transfers, all those things we'll be learning in this particular concept. Okay. Once the employee is apprised, that is merit rating is done over his performance, then we think whether to promote him or to demote him, or we can make him to stay in that particular position itself. And then last we'll be deciding about the compensation. That is, we know compensation, all the monetary benefits what an employee gets from the employer, we call it as compensation. Single word. When we want to say many things in a single word, we give a term to that. That is what your compensation is. Means all the monetary benefits, okay, what a particular employee will be getting, will be considering under a single term called compensation. So if you see here, these are the different 8 steps which are involved in the staffing process. In order to fulfill the purpose of staffing, we have to go through, a particular employee goes through all these different 8 positions. Okay, so once again I just read it out, and please you have to prepare always your mind to draw this in the flowchart manner. Okay, first one is estimation of manpower, or it can be manpower planning, or it can be human resource planning. Then comes recruitment, then comes selection, introduction, or it can be orientation and placement. Then comes training and development, performance appraisal, or it can be appraisal alone, or it can also be called merit rating. And then comes promotions and career planning, and lastly we end up with compensation. Okay, so this is the entire process of staffing. Now we'll go with one by one. In this class I may do 1 or 2 steps, that too not complete, because we have a elaborated topic. As you have seen the notes, you might already got, we have, this chapter is somewhat lengthy, just like your organizing chapter, but the concepts are very important to understand, so please concentrate while explaining the concepts. Alright, we'll start with manpower planning. As I said, it can be manpower planning, or it can be estimation of manpower, or it can be human resource planning. So what it is, in general I would like to say you, manpower, the word manpower in the sense the employees you hold. The employees, it means manpower in the sense employees. You might heard a quote that India is equipped with huge manpower, people will be saying, isn't it? India is equipped means India is having a lot of resources. In that resources we differentiate like natural resources and human resources. Okay, and it is said that India is equipped with what? Huge human resource or manpower. Manpower in the sense the employees, okay, manpower, human resource. Okay, so now initially you have planned everything about an organization, you have created the structure and all. Now actually what you have to do is you have to recruit people, you have to get people in order to place them in the situation. What we have studied in planning, it is all mental work. It is all mental exercise. You have done everything on a paper and everything is ready. And as per your plan, you have arranged everything. You have arranged in the sense you need machineries, you need equipments, and all these things you have tried to arrange in second function called organizing. Right? There, manpower is not arranged. But we have already arranged the positions. So now in third chapter, that is called in third function of manager, through staffing, I recruit people, I take people, manpower, and I just place them in the structure. Is that clear? In the first function called planning, we have done all the mental work, and we have come to know what should be my goal and how I have to reach that. In second function, that is called organizing, you try to arrange everything to an organization, whether my organization should be like divisional, or it should be functional, or when it comes to the matter of communication and all, whether it should be formal or informal, everything you have decided, whether it should go with decentralization or centralization, everything you have decided, and you have arranged everything according to that. But you have made the arrangement, but still people are not filled in that. Okay, so now through your manpower planning, I start with the staffing, that is called manpower planning. Now I sit and decide how many people I need. Okay, how many people I need, and what should be the qualification of all those people. Okay, and what salaries I should pay to them. Everything you have to decide now. So if it is an existing organization, if it is an existing organization, and if it wants for diversification, or if it wants to go for expansion, what happens? The work becomes more. It might be diversification or it might be expansion. Then what happens? You need more employees because your work will be more. Your work will be extended. At that time also you start again staffing process. Is it clear? If it is a new enterprise, first you will do planning, organizing, then you will come off getting people, that is manning the people, manning your organization with the people. But if it is an existing organization, already you have planned everything, already you have organized everything, now you want to go with extension of your work, that is diversification of your work. Now you want to get more people for your organization, isn't it? At that particular time, the top management goes with this manpower planning function, isn't it? So see what it is written. Manpower planning is essentially the process of getting the number of qualified employees and seek to place and make them to be in the place, the right employee in the right job at the right time, so that an organization can meet its objectives. Simple. Okay, so what is this manpower planning? In the sense, I have to get what I have, what I want to have, okay, and how that employee should be and where he should be placed. Everything you have to think. That is the initial step called manpower planning. So how the manpower planning will be done? So here you can see manpower planning, or it can be a resource planning, okay, human resource planning. It is a forward looking function, we can say. Just like planning, even your manpower planning, planning is also called forward looking function, okay. Now see here, we have two types of analysis in order to go for manpower planning. This is important question. It can be asked for 1 or 2 marks. Okay, this is actually not found in the list of questions many times, but this is very important question. Please note it down. How the manpower planning has to be done? It is understood that I have to do manpower planning. I have to know what I have, what I need, what type of people I need. All these things you have to decide. How you are going to decide? You know that you have to decide. Now you will decide how to decide. Is it clear? For that purpose, we have two tools, like these are analysis are called tools. We can, in order to perform the first step called manpower planning or human resource planning, we have two tools called workload analysis and workforce analysis. Okay, these are the two important tools in order to make manpower planning successful. Okay, what is your workload analysis? Even difference can be asked for 1 or 2 marks. There you should be confident. What is this workload analysis and workforce analysis? As the word itself says, workload analysis says it is a tool to find out number and type of employees required to an organization. Your workload analysis says what number of people needed to my organization for the different jobs, for what type of job, is it clear, for how much period of time. This is called your workload analysis. Okay, once again, workload analysis is a tool of manpower planning in order to find out number and type of employees required to an organization for the various jobs and for a particular period of time. That is called your workload analysis. Your workforce analysis says how many employees at present I am having. How many employees at present I am having. Among them, how many are overburdened and how many are underburdened. Over and underburdened in the sense, my capacity is to take 3 classes per day. My capacity continuously, or by giving some gap, I can take, you just take 4 classes I can take. Okay, per day I can take 4 classes. Okay, by having some intervals between them. Okay, 4 classes. If I do 5 classes or 6 classes, I will be overburdened. If I do only 3 class or 2 class or 1 class, I will be underburdened. Is that clear? my capacity is doing of 4 classes, but if I am compelled to do 5 classes, I am overburdened. If because of some reason, because there is no work, there is no students, so college allotted me only 2 classes per day, then what happens? I am underburdened. Is it clear? Means I am used by the organization less than my capacity, and somewhere overburdened, I am used by an organization for more than my efficiency. So it is understood that when you are overburdened, that is when you are being used for more than your efficiency, there your efficiency is dropping down and your health condition goes worst. Is it clear? Because my ability is 4 hours, if I am given with that task, I can do my work efficiently. If I am overburdened, my efficiency decreases. My efficiency decreases, my salaries will get reduced. Okay, my performance levels get reduced. All these problems arises. Hence, it is very important by the organization, by the top people, top level management people, to identify how many number of existing workers I have. Among them, how many are overburdened and how many are underburdened. That has to be identified. If you do these 2 tasks, okay, then you are said to be you have done manpower planning. By doing these 2 analysis, by using the tools, if you will come to know what manpower I have, what number of manpower I should have. Okay, and among them, how many are overburdened and how many are underburdened. If you see someone are overburdened, what you can do is you can make them to work as per their efficiency, that some part of burden can be taken from them and allotted to the underburdened people. Like that you can make some balance between them. Is it clear? So we say manpower planning is very important to know what number of people I need, what type of people I need, and I need a right person to be placed in the right place. Okay, in order to do that, I'll use 2 tools or 2 analysis called workload analysis and workforce analysis. This is about your manpower planning in simple. Then comes the second important step called definition and meaning of, recruitment. Here we see the definition and meaning of recruitment. Okay. So this I would like to continue in our next class. First go with the chart. You be familiar with the chart. Okay, because that alone is asked for 8 marks. Chart with the explanation, so little information about that if you are able to write, surely you will be scoring 8 out of 8 marks. Okay, so practice before we enter into the second step. When I start the second when I go with the next class with the second topic, you please be prepared with the chart, right? So hope you do so. Till we meet in our next class, take care. Bye bye.